Thank you for tuning in to another video by yours truly, Toby, the so-called artist. Hi, it's me, Toby, the so-called artist, and I am back again. This would be after Christmas, so happy holidays and happy New Year, depending on if I get this out before January 1st or after that day. Time is an illusion. You will see this video whenever you see it. Today, as you guys could probably infer from the title of the video, I want to talk about Pokemon, specifically Pokemon Ultra Moon. Well, I guess Pokemon Sun and Moon, the games in general, they are my favorite Pokemon games. Second Pokemon game that is my favorite is the Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, I think it's like EX. I was playing it on my Switch, but my Switch is broken currently. One of the joysticks doesn't work. I have a Switch Lite, not a regular Switch, so I can't just get a new controller or a new Joy-Con for it, but it's okay. I have my trusty 3DS XL, and on it I have been playing Pokemon Ultra Moon. I got Pokemon Moon when it first came out, and then Ultra Moon when that came out. So I've had these games, but over the holidays, I just got really back into playing Pokemon games, and I've completed Pokemon Moon, but I never finished Pokemon Ultra Moon. So I just restarted my game, and golly, if you guys have ever watched speed runs or hardcore Nuzlocke videos of people trying to get through the Pokemon games, they are not kidding when they say that the Ultra Sun and Moon games are brutal, because I can be a whole 10 levels above what I'm fighting and it will still wipe out half my team. And I know someone's going to be in the comments saying that that's a skill issue. I don't care. It is a skill issue. I'm not good at video games, but I'm trying. But what I am good at is art. So I did it was like a TikTok and like a YouTube short about my binder cover that I recently made. It's of one of my recently, I gotta just say, has been my favorite Pokemon of the year. They have risen in the ranks. It's of Skitty. So this is the back of it. I didn't do the ears because I thought it would be too bulky. I did attach this Hello Kitty plush charm that I had, but it broke, so I put the plush here because I had this idea in my head where it's like, instead of Hello Kitty, it's Hello Skitty. Anyway, inside of here, I've like moved pages around. So I did do this illustration of my Skitty Pokesona, where they are a fairy type instead of just a normal type. So I really like how this came out, and I want to do a spread similar to this before another Pokemon that has kind of risen in the ranks. It was a surprise for myself. So I'm going to get to sketching, and I'm just going to let you guys guess who that Pokemon is. Yeah, that's right. We're going to play Who's That Pokemon? I'm not going to do the graphics because I don't know if it's copyrighted or not. But we're going to get to sketching, and as I sketch, I'm going to give like 3 hints about who the Pokemon is that I am thinking of, or well, I'm drawing. And by the end of the video, or at some point, I'll have you guys, leave a comment with your guesses of what Pokemon you think I'm drawing today. I thought that I might make this as like a voiceover, but I've decided that, I can talk while I sketch. I don't really do that for my YouTube, so that's what I'm going to do. So, first and foremost, I've already looked up like poses and stuff on Pinterest, so I can have something that looks good. I think I'm gonna swap this. Yeah. Sorry. I do a lot of like planning in my head, so you guys don't really know what I'm doing, but I have to articulate myself so that you guys do understand what I'm doing. So, like my previous spread, I had a full body image and then like a bust up shot. So now I'm going to swap it. So now I'm going to do the full body on the left side, and then the kind of bust up shot on the right side. So I'm going to try and get a little more in depth with how I do my drawing process. So these lines that I'm doing here are maximum height indicators. So this is where the very bottom of the feet are going to go, and this is where the very top of the head is going to go. Or like their ears, depending on how big their ears are, it might go a little bit past that. But this is just how I balance things out. And I draw a line going straight down so I can have like a visual of, okay, where am I placing this character? And I'll give you guys the first hint as I'm drawing it. This Pokemon is the final evolution in a line. That is your first hint. I'll give another hint when I do the line art, and then maybe I'll give another hint during the sketching, because I want the final reveal to be maybe the coloring. Yeah, when I color, that'll be the final reveal. So I'll do 2 hints sketching, 1 hint when I do my line art, and then we'll do the big reveal. Can you guys tell I do not script these videos? I do not. I just put the camera on and then I yap. Why are there people outside? Sorry, I'm recording this video at like the crack of dawn. It's not even, I would call this more of like the witching hours. So hearing people outside is just like baffling, because like, why are y'all out there? It's late, go home. But I do a circle just to indicate the whole head. This trapezoid that I'm drawing right here, favorite shape when drawing bodies, let me tell you. This is going to be the chest region, and then I'm going to do a line right here, and then a bigger one here. So this is your waist and then your hips. So now I'm going to do an upside down, or well, maybe an upside right trapezoid, depending on how you usually draw them. And then halfway between this line and then this line is going to be where I put the kneecaps. I am going to put it a little higher just because I do circles or sometimes triangles for the knee to indicate the direction. And then I'm going to put the little feet down here, and I am going to go a little bit below it just to make the feet like have some 3D elements to them. And I break the feet into 3 parts. So we have the back of the foot, the middle, and then kind of like your arch, and then your toes. And then I just swoop it all the way around. So I think I'm gonna connect a line from the top of the hips to the knees to the ankles. And then this thing, where do I want to put their arms? Do I want to put their arm on their hip? Let me check my reference. Okay, head. I think I'm gonna give them a more confident pose because, okay, I'll give you guys a second hint. The second hint for this Pokemon is that they are an electric type Pokemon. So there you go. Those are your 2 hints. I won't give any more hints until we do the line art. But I feel like after the sketching, you guys might be able to deduce who I am drawing. I do have one of these Pokemon in my Pokemon Ultra Moon run. I got them because they look so cute. And I usually don't actually get Pokemon from this line. I like trying to, play with different Pokemon that I don't often see in like the mainline games or the mainline media. So I'm like, no, don't show me your gimmicks. Show me your hidden gems. Because I think one of my favorite hidden gems from the Pokemon Sun and Moon generation had to be Dragpaw. I think that's how it's said. He's like, I looked at him and I'm like, look at my grandpa. Or Levantis, the mantis Pokemon. Oh, love them. And I kind of get upset. You know what? Let me rant, okay? Because why is it that there are so many outfits I can get in the Pokemon Sun and Moon game, but the only, okay, Titan Pokemon outfit you can get is the Levantis outfit? Like, what if I wanted to dress up like any other of the Titan Pokemon? Like, and I want to wear something that's cute and pink, but there aren't a lot of cute and pink outfits in Pokemon Sun and Moon. The only pink outfit is the Levantis one, and it costs $600,000. Like, Poké Dollars. I don't care. That's a lot of money. Like, granted, I guess it's like a post-game outfit, that you can get, that you can grind for because there's so many battles and you will eventually earn the money for it. But still, that's a lot of money. And just for one outfit. Like, I want other outfits. Like, I know I've gotten the outfit in Pokemon Moon, but I don't know if they made it, like, more expensive in Pokemon Ultra Moon. But it's just not fair. Like, what if I want a cute outfit? But no, all of the outfits come in, like, various shades of blue or white, black, and gray. Where's my pink? Like, this feels discriminatory. Where's the other colors? Where's even yellow? I can't get any other shades of yellow? Just, no, nothing. You get khaki, and it doesn't even look like khaki. The khaki they have in that game is barely even khaki. And I know they know how to put khaki in the game, because Ilion has khaki. But I get very passionate about the customization I want in my Pokemon game. But, like, literally, there's, like, a couple of, like, parts of the game where the only thing I had that was pink was the iconic old school Professor Oak shirt, which I think is really funny when we see Professor Oak as our dark-skinned king in the Pokemon Sun and Moon games, which I think is really funny because they don't say he's a different Professor Oak. They treat him like he's the original first game Professor Oak. And I'm like, okay, so was he just a light-skinned Hawaiian man and now he's on vacation, he has his tan back? Is that what you're telling me? Because the Pokemon Sun and Moon games are kind of like the Pacific Islands. It's very, not Mesoamerica, but like Oceania, kind of vibes and themes and aesthetics, which I think was really nice. Like, when I was younger, I didn't quite understand, like, the vibe that they were going for, especially with all of, like, Team Skull and, like, the way they would dance. But now that I've, like, grown up and I have actually studied oceanic history, I know that a lot of, like, dancing is very important to oceanic culture. And there's even, like, parts where, like, they dance as in, like, the beginning of a fight. So when the, like, Team Skull is dancing or, like, they're break dancing and stuff, there's some of their hand movements or, like, the poses they take really reminded me of, like, how warriors would prepare to, you know, fight, which I think is a very cute touch. You know, it's not something you'd recognize immediately, but once you know, it's very endearing. I am making this, I want to call it like a Gajinka, but they still have, like, some of their ears and tails from, like, their actual animals. So I know some people call them, like, I always get it wrong, Kiromimi? I always look, I'm old school. Back in my day, we called everything Neko. Okay? Whether you were a cat girl or a dog girl, you were a Neko. So in my mind, I keep wanting to say that, but I know people, especially in, like, the art community, are real particular about, like, oh no, that's not what this is called. This is called this. You know what? I'm drawing them kind of human. You know? That's what I'm doing. You guys get what I'm doing. Why do we need to put a label on it? I don't understand. You guys are saying new words at me. I'm old. I don't understand. Although I am not old, okay? I'm only 25, which in this day and age, people treat like they treat me sometimes like I'm going through my menopause. I'm not even there yet. I'm only 25. I had to take a soda break because it does get a little dehydrating. But don't worry, along with my soda, I do keep my water bottle. It has a little lid and it flips up. Hold on, I gotta unlock it. So I am hydrated with both caffeine and natural H2O. So I want to roll. But the Pokemon games haven't, I've gotten back into the older ones because I haven't played Pokemon ZA and I have no intention to. I kind of stopped playing the new Pokemon games after Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I only got Pokemon Sword and Shield because when the Pokédex was leaked, I took one look at Appleton and I was just like, yeah, no, I need them in my life. I need to get that Pokemon. I need to catch them. And I did. So, I haven't really had an interest in Pokemon, like, what was it, Scarlet and Violet, And then when Pokemon ZA came out, I just, wasn't into it. Although I do see ads for, I think it's not Bulbapedia, that's the website. The new Pokemon Animal Crossing like game, which I feel like we are allowed to say that because it is from the same company. Like, Nintendo made Animal Crossing. We can just call it Pokemon but Animal Crossing. They're not going to take offense to it. At least I don't think. But I am quite excited for that game because it does look cute. And I did see some cutscenes where you will be able to customize, like, your Ditto that you play as. So I'm just like, alright, hand it over. I'll play it. Although I might not play it because I don't know if I'm gonna buy, like, a new Switch. Because, things are expensive. And these games are, like, $70. And that's basically, like, all of my grocery money. And I don't want to spend all my money on groceries on video games because I can't eat those games. Those games do not feed me. The food might look nice in the video games, but I can't eat it. I think I'm going to switch this hand to be doing something else. I don't really like having, like, the arms do the same thing all the time. And I literally just posted a whip of me drawing a character with, like, both their arms together, and that was enough for me. I need a little bit of a difference in their pose, a little bit of dynamic. I was gonna say dynamism, but I am like 73% sure that's not a word. So I just want it to be different. So I'm gonna have them giving like a little peace sign because they're very, very chill looking Pokemon, and honestly, their color palette is god tier. This is like one of my favorite like color palettes that I've seen on a Pokemon. So alright. Now I'm just checking to make sure the arm is even. So from your shoulder to your wrist, it's a line, and then your elbow is always the halfway point from your elbow to from your shoulder to your wrist. So if you ever want to check if something is even or if it looks right, then make a line from your shoulder to your wrist and then cut it in half, and that is where your elbow should be. Unless you're like, even if you're doing forced perspective, the line is just going to look in the direction of the perspective. Oh, I have to do their tail. They got a big tail. I think I'm going to do the biggest part of the tail. So it's like this. I'm pretty sure like people have commented already what Pokemon this is just by like this sketching phase alone. But I mean, who knows? Some people aren't very knowledgeable on the Pokemon, and some people haven't actually played Pokemon Sun and Moon. So, I won't say the race is over just yet. There's one more hint coming. Alright, I didn't give really the Skitty I drew a lot of hair. So I don't know if I'll give this Pokemon design hair. You know what? I'm just going to do the other pose, and then I'll do my secondary or like my second sketch layer off camera so I can decide on final details here and there. Alright, so I need like a playful pose, or maybe just like a cutesy pose, because I do think they are very cutesy. And I'm going to put them up here. I'm going to hit it with like a kind of 3/4, but like a looking down kind of view. So I did give them like a little bit of a round face. I want their eyes to kind of be looking up. Maybe a nose here. This is the side of the head. And then they have their ears. Little loop-de-loop and pull. Oh my god. This is why, partially why I don't do like drawing in time sometimes, because I just be saying stuff and I have to worry about copyright because I don't want my video get taken down. But I be singing, I be jamming, I be listening to YouTube videos. Most of the time I'll do like songs, or sometimes I'll go on like deep dives of video essays, because I don't like drama in my life, but I still like listening to like drama recap videos just so I can be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that was happening. And wow, they were really doing that, and I can't believe that. Like, really? The things you hear that go on different sides of the internet are quite intense, let me tell you. And sometimes I'm just like, have you guys considered maybe getting off of your phones? You know, maybe turning the computer off. That might solve some of these problems, you know? But that's, other people. I can't control them. All right, so I have this cute pose. Do I want to have them blow a kiss? I thought about it, but no, I'm gonna just leave it like this. All right, so these is my sketches for the first part. And now, with some editing magic, I will have another sketch ready for line art. All right. I think I took the focus out of my camera. My editing magic is so strong. But here is what the final design looks like. I gave them the flipped out bob that you can get in the video game. It's one of the hairstyles you can choose. And I went for a more just flowy, loose fabric for the outfit because I thought it was cute, and so I went with it. A lot of my design choices are just based off of what I think looks good at the moment. I go off of vibes, and the vibe I wanted was thunder and cute, so I went with it. And so we will get into the line art. So while that is going, before I get into the voiceover part, I will give you your final hint. The final hint is that this Pokemon has a regional variant. Yes, this Pokemon is a regional variant. All right, guys, put your guesses in the comment section now. Before we get to the coloring, and I'll do the final reveal once we start coloring. So who knows? I might throw in a curveball. You never know. So for these illustrations, I used my two favorite Micron pens. It's a Micron Pigma graphic pen in the number 2, and then I have a Micron Pigma plastic nib pen. I alternate between using these. This is how I get my absolutely juicy, chef's kiss, exquisite line art. It's a lot of pushing and pulling out details when I do my line art, and I mostly use my plastic nib to do like the finishing edge of, I guess, my brush stroke, because it is a very blunt edge, the graphic pen, so I like smoothing it out and making it look nice in the end, or like have a nice flow. I reach the flow state when I do my line art. There's not much to say other than that. I will say, this is coming from, when I do my voiceovers, this is after I did all the illustrations. So from the future, I have missed certain spots doing my line art that I had to go back and like quickly fill in as I was coloring. It's a habit I have. I bounce around a lot with my line art. I don't like move methodically. I truly go based off of vibes. And sometimes my eyes will just skip over certain areas, so I just completely forget about them. But that's why it's important to just have all of your materials around. Because sometimes, you give it a day, you might look back and go, oh man, I missed something here. And welcome back. It has been a undetermined amount of days between me finishing the line art and this clip you're seeing right now. It is the daytime, so I'm using the natural lighting for as long as I have it, because as you guys know, it's winter, so I will probably lose all of my natural lighting by 4 p.m. So gotta move fast. But I finished all the line art. I erased most of the pencil that I could see, and now it's time to color. And for the big reveal, so if you haven't already guessed it and figured it out, I was drawing Alolan Raichu. They are so very cute, and I love this form of Raichu so much, and I just love them. She looks so cute. I have her on my team, as I mentioned in the game of Pokemon Ultra Moon. Her name is Penny, and she is my little cutie. Oh my gosh. Come on. There he is. So, she has made it. I have finished the game, so we've made it past the Elite Four, and I'm on my post-game champion adventures, and I've had to take a break, because I've been playing it all of my winter break, and New Year's is like tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. It's New Year's Eve is tomorrow. New Year's Day, however, is a couple days away. So I have been gearing up for that. I don't think I'm going to go out for New Year's. I think I'm just going to stay inside. I might live stream on my TikTok. I'm not quite sure about what I will do just yet, but who knows? It will be determined at some point. Not right now, but we're all geared up and ready to go, so let's color. Okay, I did not configure my camera properly for recording with just natural lighting, so I'm sorry that the coloring footage is gonna look a little fuzzy. I don't know how to fix it. I'm gonna try and edit it to be a little easier on the eyes. I did not notice it because I don't wear my glasses, so a lot of the time if something looks blurry, I can't see it because everything looks blurry. I really gotta get new glasses. It's ridiculous at this point. But let's talk Pokemon. I feel like when it came to the regional variants, it was hit or miss with some of the Pokemon. Like the Raichu regional variant, absolute banger. The Vulpix regional variant, absolute banger. Honestly, I actually made my own regional variants of some other Pokemon, because in my mind, if a whole region changes a specific type of Pokemon, it should change more than just a few, it should change a lot more. But I get it, Game Freak and Nintendo didn't want to make a new version of every single Pokemon in the Pokédex that was going to be available in the game, so, from an outsider looking in, I understand why they made those choices. But I want more. And I think, out of everything, I think I might redraw my Alolan Shinx, because I did variations of them. If I can find the photos, I'll put little photos up of the variation I made of them, and maybe I'll draw them again. I genuinely like drawing Pokemon, but growing up, I was really big into Sonic as a kid, and then there was that whole unfortunate thing with Sonic Chew and everything that happened with that. I'm not going to talk about it, but if you know, and if you don't know, don't look it up. You don't want to know. But it's because of that I just didn't express any interest in Pokemon, at least online, because I've already said, I've expressed so much love for the Sonic games and Sonic characters, and I'm I can't, because I didn't want to be grouped in with something negative, so I just stayed away from it. But you can't live your life running away from things you like just because there's one person that did a bad thing and everyone sees that person as oh, this is what's wrong with the community. No, that one person did not ruin it for others, and I'm not going to let one person ruin things for me. If I like Pokemon, I'm going to talk about Pokemon, and I'm going to draw Pokemon as I see fit. And this is my call to you guys. If you were really just hesitant to do something because you saw someone else online was into it and then they turned out to be a bad person, don't let that stop you from enjoying things in life. There's going to be bad people anyway, but they don't control your life. Be free. Enjoy what everyone else is enjoying. Don't be scared. Let yourself just have fun. We only got one life, and so I'm going to use my life to draw whatever I please. And what pleases me is drawing my pretty little Pokemon girls. And we're back. I do have my big light on because the sun went down and I couldn't see. But we're done! As you can see, let me lift it up for you guys to get a good view of it. Here she is in all of her beauty. I added a lot of stickers that were like seashells, and I love postage stamps and water and just things that balanced out the color palette. I don't know why my camera is not focusing. There we go. But in the end, I really like how this came out. I added a little bit of pink color pencil to the eyes, kind of like how I always call my Pokemon that I catch by their names that I gave them. So I call them Poppy, but I think it's pronounced Prima Donna? No, that's not right. But the water type starter from Pokemon the Sun and Moon games, when they get to their final evolution, they have like these pink and blue eyes with big white eyelashes, and I just like that color combo, so I used it for Penny's eyes here. In the end, I'm really happy with everything that I was able to get done. This one sticker just doesn't like sticking down, but that is it. I don't know if I'll do another like Gajinka kind of Pokemon drawing video. Maybe not. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you want to see another my take on Gajinka Pokemon forms, because I did them, and then I also have my Skitty over here. So let me know what you guys think. As always, like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys in the new year. So, yeah, unless you're watching this video years later and you're just looking back at how far I've come, say hi from the future if you are commenting from years after I posted this. Okay, alright, that's it. Bye-bye!